In this video, we're going to talk about the concept of prompt engineering. And this is a new concept that pretty much the AI tools such as ChatGPT have brought into fruition because the concept of prompting wasn't really used in our regular lexicon very often. And now almost every conversation I've had with friends, family, colleagues about ChatGPT, it has been heavily around prompts. What prompt did you use, or how do you know what prompt to use, or what prompts work better, et cetera, et cetera. So the word prompt is going to be really, it's going to become part of our culture with this explosion of AI. So anyway, I did a video about 45 days ago, from the day I'm recording this one, 45 days ago, called ChatGPT in Accounting Part 3, Categorizing Expenses. And back then, just 45 days ago, I was using ChatGPT 3.5. And since then, ChatGPT 4 has came out, and I have ChatGPT Plus, which includes access to 4. I don't know at what point they're going to make a ChatGPT 4 available for free. I do pay $20 a month for ChatGPT Plus. But anyway, the improvements have really, I mean, especially when it comes to account categorization or expense categorization, the improvements have changed quite a bit. So I'm going to premise this video by talking about the quality of prompting, specifically using the same exact example, the example of having ChatGPT categorize expenses for you. So I'm going to come into ChatGPT 4, and I'm just going to ask it to categorize a bunch of transactions that I downloaded from a credit card. So I'm going to start by kind of explaining it what I wanted to do. So I'm going to say, I need you to help me categorize some expenses from my credit card related to my, let's say, accounting business. Okay, I'm just going to press enter, and then it's going to understand what I asked it to do, and it says, okay, we're ready to go. So then I'm going to go and find a spreadsheet that contains a whole bunch of transactions from a credit card, and I'm gonna paste them in there, and I'm going to see what ChatGPT tells me. So let me go and find that sheet. Okay, there it is. So this is the spreadsheet I downloaded from one of my credit cards. This is from 2019, but we can ignore that. The date's already not relevant in this case. And it's just a bunch of places I went to and I spent money on my credit card. Some of this stuff is personal, some of the stuff is business. I mean, the credit card does give me a category of sorts, but we're gonna ignore whatever the credit card gives you, because sometimes the credit card, it's accurate, sometimes it's not. I mean, we can explore what that means, in terms of the information that they give you and how to use that in your prompt. But for the time being, I'm just gonna take the description and the dollar amount. So I'm just gonna do simple like this. So description and dollar amounts, and I'm gonna copy and paste this into ChatGPT. So let's see what happens here. I'm gonna. By the way, it's interesting to mention that even though it says I'm gonna help you do this, but it's actually recommending that you use QuickBooks, Zero, or FreshBooks to help you do this. And it says automatically, which is kind of okay. That's a different conversation for a different video. So I'm gonna right click and paste, and then press enter, and see what kind of information it starts giving me. And by the way, so we're gonna talk about prompt engineering, so we can see, so we can talk about how we get the information, the output, to come out the way we want it. So right now, if you see what's happening is, it's grouping the transactions based on the category. So it took GoDaddy and HubDoc and put them into the office expenses category. It listed the payees and the dollar amounts, and in parentheses it put sort of the category. Okay, so that's pretty good. And the point is, this is actually a lot better than in ChatGPT 4 versus ChatGPT 3.5. You can test it on your own, and you can see. But it's pretty good. It's already doing the work for me. And again, some of these categories, not the same categories, but some sort of categorization. Let me undo this. Was here, but again, maybe I like the categories the credit card gives me, maybe I don't. So okay, so that's pretty good. I'm gonna hit stop here, and I wanna refine this a little bit. And I do this through prompt engineering. Basically, I use the prompt to just give me better information. So I'm going to say, I want this info in a table with 3 columns. So let's do payee, category, category, and amount. Okay, and then I'm gonna press enter. So what happens is now it's gonna give me the information in a different format. So that's what prompt engineering means. It means that when you know how to ask for the information, you're gonna get better information. Period. Right? So if you ask for it, you can. The same information is basically being processed, but it's being presented or analyzed in a different way based on how you ask for it. Okay. All right. So let's stop there and let's add something else to it, and let's say I want you to use the categories in a Schedule C form. Categories you find in a Schedule C form. So we're going to press enter. So we're using the same, we're doing the same thing, but we're telling it to use sort of a different set of categories. Let's see if it understands exactly what I mean by this. Okay, there we go. Okay, so it's going to use Schedule C categories now. Let's see. Okay, so meals and entertainment. Okay, that's good. Let's see the next one. It's going to say advertising. Okay, that's good. That's something. Okay, then it puts chiropractic and other expenses. Okay, car and truck. Okay, it's not bad. Okay, so it's actually getting better and better. And this is what I mean by prompt engineering, which is, you know, the more you have it tweak the information, just the better. So I'm going to hit stop here, and I'm going to give it more context. I'm going to say, this is my accounting firm. If you see expenses that seem like personal, for example, anything that is medical or for my house, let's just say that, use the personal category. So I'm going to put this in quotes. Use the personal category, and I'm going to press enter and see. So now the interesting part is now it's going to try to figure out what's personal. And again, this could be right or it could be wrong, but in either case, let's just wait. Let's wait to see if if it actually picks up any of these. Oh, there you go. Look. So it took chiropractic as personal. Now I did give it the example, and this is the concept of prompt engineering. I said anything that is medical or for my house. I mean, I could have done something else in the description. And look here, we got the cleaners of Weston. That's actually dry cleaning. So I picked up that as personal. It picked up Target as personal. That's pretty interesting. The hotels, travel, the restaurants. Okay, I mean that's pretty good. Pretty good. Look, it didn't pick up Apple.com as personal. So it picked up Publix, which is a supermarket, as personal. So that's pretty interesting too. And then obviously ChatGPT is making these decisions for me on the fly. Okay. Now I'm gonna hit stop generating, and I'm gonna add one more layer to this. Again, we're prompt engineering, so I'm gonna say I actually want 4 columns. The fourth column is called business category, and only for the personal ones, I want you to give me an alternative category from the Schedule C in that column. And press enter. I misspelled column, but that's it understands that anyway. So there we go. So now it's sort of rephrasing what I put. Now it's putting the 4 columns in there, and now it's going to do the same thing here. And then when a personal one gets picked up, let's see if it does do exactly what I told them to do. There you go. So that's exactly what I wanted. So you see right there, Live Well Chiropractic is saying that it's personal, but it's saying, hey, alternative, this could be other expenses if this personal one happens not to be personal. So again, this is same type of video that I did for part three, where we talked about using it for categorization, but we're now getting it to think in sort of both perspectives. It's saying, hey, it could be this, or it could be that. That's pretty interesting as well. Now I'm gonna hit stop here, and I'm gonna add one more thing, and I want to give credit to Jason Staats, and I want to give a quick shout out to Jason. Let me put up his YouTube channel here, Jason Staats. And if you don't follow Jason Staats, you definitely should follow Jason Staats. And he's got only 4.5 thousand subscribers on his channel. And hopefully, me shining some light into it, help him grow his channel too. But he's doing some amazing work in this AI front, and you should absolutely follow his work, because I think he's gonna surprise us with great stuff. But anyway, he was doing some prompt engineering and kind of inspired this video, where he added some additional interesting things in here. So let me show you what he did. So what he did is he added one more context here. Say, I want you to clean up the payee name and add a link to their website under it. When I clear up the page, and then I press enter. Okay. So basically, I'm telling, okay, now what I want you to do is, I don't want you to just repeat back the payee name that was on the table. I pasted, but I want you to go find the original website so I can click on it and sort of verify this information. So check this out. Look how it does it. So it's doing the categorization, and then there's one more column where it's giving me the website to that. So let me just right click on one of these, or just right click and go to new window and see there's my GoDaddy, and then there's whatever this is, new window. There's, okay, that website is broken. And you do want to keep in mind that ChatGPT is only updated up to a certain point. So some of these websites could be down at this point, that website doesn't exist anymore. So that's the website that existed back then when this was trained. And it also tells you if it didn't find one. Okay, so there's Exxon, there's Target. Let's see if this restaurant has an active website. Yes, they do. Let's see what this is here. Right click and go to new. And there's a hotel of sorts. Yep, perfect. So so just keep in mind that it's going to tell you the website that it knew what it was back when this model was taught, which is, I think it's late 2021. And maybe if you watch this video in the future, that might not be no longer relevant. It'd be real time at that point. So that's pretty interesting. And I do want to tell you the point here. I'm gonna hit stop here generating. Is really, if you think about it, if you have to go in there and do one prompt and then do another prompt and keep refining over and over, that's gonna be problematic. It's just not gonna be as effective, because you're gonna go back and go, well, Hector, it took me like just 15 minutes to get to the point where ChatGPT was showing me something useful. So the point here is that you can make one single really well put together prompt and get kickstarted without having to do all this refining. So I'm going to show you the prompt that Jason posted, I think it was on Twitter, and I'm going to paste it in there. I'm going to show you the results that you get. So let me get that. Okay, there it is. So he posted it. He's made it publicly here. This is the actual prompt that he uses. Let me copy that and come back into ChatGPT. I'm just gonna clear this conversation completely. I'll create a new one. We're gonna use ChatGPT 4, and I'm gonna copy and paste his prompt. Okay, and then it's gonna say transaction bot at your service, and this is all pre-programmed in here. Okay, it says what type of business do you like? Where's your client and what type of business is it? So we're gonna say it's a marketing consultant in Miami, Florida. Okay, perfect. Okay, so it says now paste your list of transactions. So I'm gonna grab my spreadsheet. I'm gonna copy all the payees here. I'll leave all the other information out to avoid any landmines in there, and I'll paste that list of transactions or payees. Press enter, and let's see what it comes up with. Okay, there you go. There's my table. So we got merchant name, which is a cleaned up version of the merchant name, not exactly how it comes to the credit card. confidence level, this is how confident it is that it's going to do something correctly, that it's guessing correctly. The category, in its term of background, like it basically does some research on the payee, if that's in the database, the grand scheme of knowledge that ChatGPT has, and it adds that link, the actual hyperlink to each of the payee names. So if I actually click on any of these payee names, open a new window, and it does open the website of their particular website. Let's go in there. There it is. Okay, so that's pretty cool too. And this is like pretty much prompt engineering at its finest. Right? And we can add more to this. Okay, like for example, this is giving me whatever categories this is coming up with. These are not necessarily categories from a tax return. I could change that prompt. I mean, I could re-engineer that prompt. So to say, hey, I want the category to be specifically from the Schedule C, for example. Let me hit stop here, and let's look at the original. I'm going to go look at the original prompt here. We copy this again. I'm going to delete that, and let's start over. ChatGPT 4, paste that, and let me make a change here. So let me find out where it has the word category. Okay, so how confident? Category is a general business category. Okay, so here's a category, a general business accounting category. You expect, okay, category, and I'm going to put here to match the 1120 tax return list of expense deductions, the business deductions. Okay, so I changed the engineering there a little bit, and I'm gonna press enter, and then let's see if this works. Okay, so now we have to give it the location of the client and what the client does. So it's a marketing consultant in Miami, Florida. So the only thing I changed was I added a little caveat that it needs to match the categories of an 1120 tax return. Okay, so let's do the same thing here. Let's paste the same list of payees one more time, and press paste and press enter, and let's see what happens. So the only thing that we changed was that the category is going to be just a more formal name that matches a tax return. Okay, meals and entertainment. Yeah, that's a list that's on the tax return. I think it is anyway. While it does that, let's just look at that 1120 PDF. Let's see what that looks like. So there is meals and entertainment. That's interesting. That's not there. So I wonder where it got meals and entertainment from. That's interesting. But sometimes it's not perfect. Sometimes it does hallucinate a little bit. So it's not perfect. But again, this shows how this works, right? You engineer, re-engineer the prompt until you get exactly what you want. Well, I hope this was useful, and I'll see you on the next one.